So I was asked by a person named of Alex Rose to make a 16 questionnaire video about, I don't know, just nonsense. But I could have talked to him, but he didn't like it that I said I wanted to put hot sauce on his tongue every time he said this word.
YOLO.
So let me get to the questions. What's one thing you wish you knew about YouTube's algorithm before you started? The YouTube algorithm was once actually good, and now today it's become complete slop. Everybody knows this, you know this, and what can I say about the algorithm? One thing I noticed about the new algorithm compared to the old one, well, the old algorithm, you could actually deal with the issues you see on YouTube's part. Like, if you can't get into a mainstream topic, you can get into a niche if you title it the right way. And no matter what you do, you're going to have a small community and you can slowly grow. That's not the case anymore on YouTube, where you have to out cheat the algorithm either by view botting or by hoping you talk to the right people to where they can talk to you, talk to others, essentially make a community. That's not how old YouTube was. You could do this solo. And now you got AI that basically commits plagiarism all the time. What can you do? What is the biggest misconceptions new creators have about becoming successful on YouTube? That it's about skill. I know this firsthand. It's not really about skill but luck. YouTube, it's basically a glorified slot machine. Or a glorified slot machine, more like it. But you can't really say that to bigger creators because they will judge you and say, no, it's about skill. No, you just got to make the videos at the right time. And you need to be mildly okay. There's no skill in it. If that was the case, you wouldn't see all this Elsa Gate style videos or any of the weird content you see today. The fact is, YouTube, it's not like it once was. You can't rely on search. You can't, when you make a video, now used to, if your video was bad, you would get dislike bombed, but it's not that way anymore. This is why you see so many new creators. They're not genuine anymore. They're more of a sloppy kind of toppy kind of group. I know it sounds kind of weird, but you know what I mean? It's weird. It's like too professional, too clean, too milk toast. It makes you sick to your stomach. It makes you want to vomit. What makes me want to vomit. And people think that's normal. It's not normal. I don't remember back in the day of older YouTube, like in the 2010 to 2018ish, I'd say, you didn't see this. You could say, yes, there was a Leafies here and all those other content people, but there was still quality content. And it was more edgy back then. You can be yourself back in the day. Now, if you act yourself, expect people to not watch you. And expect not to make variety content, which is a big no-no on YouTube, which doesn't make sense. Unless you are a Miyamu Ohara or a sorry, I had to cough there, but a Miyamu Ohara, what's his name, Moist Critical, or a Turkey Tom. They could do that because they're from the time of the old days, where they still have their audience. But new YouTubers have to play the milquetoast game, or play the viewbot game, which this has become more common. I have talked to people who do viewbots, the way they grow. It's essentially the new steroid. What was the hardest part about doing YouTube that you didn't expect? There's not really a difficulty doing this. It's just having to deal with YouTube. YouTube itself is the biggest obstacle of any platform. You have to deal with the censorship. You have to deal with the open shadow bannings that's happened to most creators. In my opinion, it's become an automated system like with the moderation, but with them trying to outright suppress content creators just because they say a mean word on the internet. And the opaqueness of YouTube is atrocious. Where when I use TikTok, where I had a decent follower on TikTok before I got banned, it told me everything. Whenever I did something bad, whenever someone blocked me, whenever anyone did anything, or whenever TikTok does anything, it would tell me. YouTube doesn't tell you a single thing. Just look at restricted mode. And you see, if you go in like restricted mode in certain creators, like especially Synthetic Man, I know some people find him controversial, but he can be entertaining. And you know what? His entire video catalog is gone. Proving the point that anyone who says that shadow banning's, not real, they're up their own ass. And the biggest obstacle, it's not yourself, but this platform itself. And there's no other platform you can go on because every single one of them sucks ass. How did your friends and family react when you started posting? And did that affect your progress? I would not tell people personally what I talk about because of the way the internet is and the way how people will go after you just because you have a different opinion. Especially when that if you say anything that is not PC, then it can destroy your life. Personal matters, I think I would never tell any of my family or friends because that's a dumb idea. Why would I tell them? I don't understand this day and age where you have to tell all your friends and family about the stuff you do and all the content you make. It's like, why should you? I don't understand why this generation has to post every single bit of their personal lives on the internet. I see myself as an idea on the internet, not as a personality, what you see today. You can like a creator, but you're not a friend to a creator. I don't know any of you. None of you are my friends. I'm just some guy on the internet. I just say stupid shit on the internet and make shit posts. That's what you should do. And you trying to put that in your real life, well, say if you get banned, well, guess what? If the YouTube system knows that you're the same person, they just ban you. Where if you're anonymous, you don't have to deal with that. You just make the content you want, and if you get banned, just make another one. What Google's going to do? Put a rubber glove on their ass and stick their hand up your ass or something? I don't know. Maybe, but the way the new YouTube AI is and the way Google is trying to put real ID, well, not real ID, but digital ID on the internet to destroy any bit of privacy we have left. But I think people just don't care anymore. Did your audience turn out to be the people you expected? Or did a different group connect to your content? Audience-wise, I don't much care that much, but at the same time, I don't want any like small kids watching this. I mean, that's expected. It's just random. It could be people that, and you can say, well, is it like this age, just the age group? You can lie about that on the internet. You can say you're 45, 35, 25. But in reality, YouTube, it's not like with TikTok. With TikTok, you had people that were in the golden age group that you need to sustain the platform. Where YouTube, it either has a shit ton of kids or a shit ton of older millennials. And like most people, I got the older millennial types. Most of them are older millennials. Now, there are some that are 20 to 25, whatever. But in reality, it really doesn't matter if they can understand it. If they can understand my content, if they can understand what I speak about when they watch my streams or whatever. I just say stuff that I would like to talk about. I think that's what most people want to do. I mean, that's the point of YouTube. YouTube, be yourself. But YouTube wants retention, and they want, I don't know what they want now. They just want you to make slop and to compete with a robot. So it's really not too difficult to say, but I don't care as long as it's not fucking kids. How did your expectations of growth compare to reality from starting your YouTube to today? Well, comparing my TikTok to my YouTube or even my old accounts, I just don't grow like I used to. And it's unusual because I see many people growing, but for some reason I don't grow. I don't understand what happened. It was so easy with YouTube. But I don't know, maybe YouTube decided, hey, you've been on here before, we're going to restrict your account. Yeah, the expectations of growth on YouTube is way different from a few years ago. I think everyone agrees that it's much harder for a small creator to grow. Where used to, you can find that niche in that community, but you can't now. You have to basically cheat the system. Or as I said, you use YouTube steroids, i.e. view botting, to get that snowball effect on your videos. And you can say that's cheating, but everyone does it. It's like that open secret. It's like going to a bodybuilding gym and you realize everyone's juicing up. Do I like it? Do I think people need to organically grow? Well, I mean, I think people do need to grow naturally, but if YouTube doesn't fit their algorithm, how can you grow without cheating, basically? It's like we see these bigger YouTubers where they know the problem with YouTube is the algorithm system, and they don't want to say, hey, let's go back to the search-based algorithm instead of using the TikTok-style algorithm that's shit compared to TikTok's actual algorithm. But, you listen to this, Mr. Rose. TikTok just had everything better than YouTube. It was just more censorious. What's something surprising you learned about thumbnail creation that made a big difference? I mean, it's still basically like the old days where, you just show a pair of tits on the screen and then you get views because some horny unk wants some puss. But now these days, people are trying to copy a well-known YouTuber known as Salmonella. His name's Salmonella? Yeah, Salmonella. Well, Salmonella. He's that basic YouTuber who did like stick figures that became real famous, and everyone's trying to do the AI game to try to copy him because his video was simple to the point. Shows you how simple stuff can work too, and it has to be straight to the point. I mean, there's nothing more you can say about it. I know some people be like, oh, you have to put title here, title there. It doesn't really matter. It's determined if YouTube pushes you out the most. Now you can say it's like the first thing you need if you are discovered in the recommendations tab of a person viewing you. But at the same time, you have to not be too desperate and not desperate enough. You need to do it in the right balance, because people see it as like begging. People don't like that. And you can say when YouTube detect, if it's not good enough, maybe, but it's like, just think of something that makes the thumbnail look interesting. And it doesn't have to be fancy. And now these days, you have your phone. You can do everything on your phone. You can download many different apps that can do basic editing on a photo, and there you go. It's not hard. It's very simple when you think about it. What is the most important skill for new YouTubers to master first? Well, the first thing you should master first is how you make the title. That's legitimately the first thing you have to master. You have to think of a topic that YouTube won't try to shadow ban it, because if you make the title too provocative or maybe even offensive, they won't even put it in the title. You have to make sure that anything you talk about is not covered by the mainstream, because if you talk about a tragedy or a massive attack or something, you know what I mean? Like in America with the quiet kid does something crazy. But if you talk something about that, guess what? If the mainstream media gets a hold of it, you are going to be dealing with no views and it won't even show up in search. Now, at the end of the day, YouTube at this time of day, it's about recommendations. If you get showed up in recommendations, most people can't use search because it's practically useless. You can use two different apps that uses two different search histories, and you can type in the same stuff and they'd be both different outcomes. It'd be like this. The first will be the same thing, but the second or third will be totally different because either it could be a recommended to you video or it could be something involving what you typed in, but it's not really. So I still say to this day, your title does matter because if you say anything that could not trick the algorithm. I mean, you want to trick the algorithm to make it where you get on top or get more views. But if you do it in a bad way, guess what? You're not going to get any views. And that's the problem with YouTube. And it's the main way you grow is with the algorithm and recommendations. But most people don't get that, and that's why they always fail. They say, have I failed? I don't know. What YouTube's been doing is kind of crazy. Maybe I'm just out of touch. Maybe I'm just an old man. What's something you learn about editing that directly improves your videos? You are barking up the wrong tree. I am not someone who edits my videos that much. It doesn't mean I don't want to. It's just I'm a very minimalistic person. Because I talk more about ideas, why should I worry about... And some people say that's part of the reason why you don't grow. But the issue is, am I just going to dangle some keys and say, look at the keys as I'm talking about something that's totally off topic? That's what I know about Call of Duty commentary is that, are you watching the gameplay or are you listening to the person? Or what is it? I listen to videos most of the time. I don't watch videos sometimes. I mean, I do watch videos, of course, but most of the time I listen to them. I don't need to have visual cues just to listen to a topic or a subject matter. It's like, are you such a brain-rotted individual that you had to have keys dangling on you, dangling around just to, well, with Call of Duty people, it's Call of Duty gameplay or the late 20s, mid 20s, even early 30s man needs to have Call of Duty gameplay of older games just to pay attention to the video of the subject matter, either finance, life advice, dating advice, or doomer advice, or how to scratch your ass. I don't know. Something like that. I don't need to do that. And if my audience can't handle that, then we're screwed as a society. That's all I can say. We are fucked. What's a video you thought would perform well but didn't? And what did you learn from it? Well, that's an extremely hard thing to say because there are certain videos that do well and then certain videos that don't. Mine are the two extremes where I can't even get sometimes double digits. I don't know why. I just think the algorithm doesn't like me. I'm not sure exactly. I talk about a lot of topics. I don't keep in mind on that kind of topic. I just make videos how I feel it should be. But if it comes to ones that I think would do good, maybe, I don't know, maybe talk about Mr. Medicare, maybe some weird internet stuff. But, I had one video done good, but then another video that doesn't. But I think of the one where we found out that, Mr. Medicare, see, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but Mr. Medicare is like this internet personality who is like from the old days of the internet. in the old days of YouTube, even before YouTube when you think about it. And he's been dealing with health complications for years, I think almost a decade now. And he didn't know what condition he had, and then they finally found out what he did had. I think I was the only person that told the story of what's going on from his Twitter to YouTube. And I would think that it would get about maybe a few hundred, maybe 1,000, but because we know what issue he has, he may be living for another 20 years because he's not sick. He is sick still, but he can be treated. He does have heart issues. We know he has other issues going on. He has a bad back now. He's basically a dwarf now because of his spine. Not really. He's about the average height for a man now, instead of being 6'1" or something that he used to been. But I would think that would do well, but because the way the algorithm works, maybe I typed in a certain phrase wrong or said something wrong on YouTube. I don't know. YouTube is weird about that. They don't want to give you views just because they don't like you. I personally think I pissed off a YouTube moderation, in Indian, and they got mad. Like, Sar, you can't be calling out our way, Sar. And then they shadow banned my account. What's a video you didn't expect to do well that ended up surprising you? Well, if you're talking about any type of video, Shorts is the one that surprises me the most because there is absolute slop on YouTube Shorts. And you can just post random meme videos. It's so like with TikTok, but you kind of have to do an effort with the title on TikTok, where on YouTube, it is so weird. It's like you can tell that it still has the functionality of what YouTube's algorithm is trying to be TikTok. It's like a skinwalker trying to be TikTok, but you still feel that YouTube vibe. Because if you search anything of topic, if you do it through Shorts, expect nothing, and I mean nothing but videos of the same topic when you scroll. And if you keep going further, then you just get nothing but slop, content farms, Minecraft that says in the title, don't click this sound because, if you click the sound, you get more views. Weird shit, AI slop, which I don't really deal with because I think my algorithm doesn't give me that because I don't like AI. Now, if it comes to long form content, I was not expecting the Medicare video of me talking about he was dying would do that well. I was thinking that people talked about this before, when not him dying, but they thought he was dead because he's been off the internet for a while. And it's because he was having financial issues because of the Trump tariffs. And just to let you know that Mr. Medicare is pro-Trump, so yeah, it kind of bit him in the ass there, but would he ever admit to that? I don't think so. How has making videos changed how you watch other people's content? Well, it hasn't really changed much of my perspective. I still see everyone as the same thing. The difference is I make content. Now, am I good at making content? No. But can I be entertaining? Maybe. It's just people don't, give a small YouTuber a chance. Compared to where I used to be back one account, 2 accounts ago, yeah, I was growing at a fine pace until YouTube decided, no, you're not good enough, and they banned me. And also people mass flagged my channel because I always kind of made enemies with people because that's how I am. Not in a bad way, but in a way that kind of shit post people and see how far I can get and try to rage bait them, as they say, or the old saying goes, troll them until see how far they get before they just rage out and just scream at you. But now it's something different. I'm just used to doing YouTube, but I was on TikTok for a while, and it was actually more fun because the live streams on TikTok are just amazing. It gives you the kind of content that you want to watch. It's not like with Twitch or YouTube where it's just shit, just pure shit. You don't see that Roblox, just tism fit, weird brain rot stuff on TikTok. You don't see e-girls everywhere on Twitch like Twitch does. So in a way, I see more of differences when I was on TikTok than I did on YouTube. YouTube, there's no sense of community. Like on TikTok, I had a bunch of people I talked to on TikTok. Many types of groups of political varieties. A lot of people from the Soy Jack Party and 4chan, you can say, well, those types of groups of people. And it was quite interesting. It was quite funny. And it's funny because TikTok was actually more edgy than YouTube is. YouTube, you can't be edgy on here. Everyone takes everything too personally and they just can't handle a joke. It's surreal. You would think YouTube be the one edgy, but no, TikTok's more edgy. So in a way, I did, but that was in TikTok. YouTube, no, there's no sense of community, so no. What's one thing you wish you started doing from day one that you only learn later? I mean, you learn over time, but at the same time, you can't change the past. The only thing I could say is that maybe make it simple. Don't make it too complex. Just feel comfortable for what you want to do. That's something I hate with modern day YouTube, where people try to copy someone else, and that's fine, but at the same time, you want to be yourself. You don't want to be someone else all the time. You can get inspiration from someone, but at the same time, you still want to be yourself. And in this day and age, you kind of have to copy everyone else or get left behind in a way. Where in the old days of YouTube, it didn't really matter. You just need to have a decent title, thumbnail. And some people say that was bad because of reply girls. Oh no, they're so evil. And it's like, you just press the dislike button or give them a 1 star. There you go. Boo fucking who. But now it's like everyone's trying to act like Mr. Beast or Turkey Tom, Moist Critical. Moist Critical and Some Ordinary Gamer are actually just AstroTurf whitelisted YouTubers who don't understand the small creator anymore. They could title their videos, "I eat shit for a living." Well, that's technically Mia Muahar because, he's Indian, so that's his culture. Can't be racist there. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. There's nothing really I can learn that I haven't learned. It's that kind of thing you learn on your own, and there's nothing you can say about it. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. Don't do stupid stuff. I mean, that's the first thing you need to do. Don't do stupid stuff. If you want to keep your identity secret, make sure everything connected to your personal life and your internet life is separate. Make sure to do proper check-in of your history and all that. And there you go, boom. And if you want to get out of not doing YouTube, but trying to make a new profile, just make a new profile, make a new identity, and most people won't know. It's simple. Especially if you're a smart creator. People like to say the internet never forgets. No, these days the internet does forget. It's so weird how that's changed now. The internet has become a goldfish. How do you deal with negative comments or self-doubt? And do you expect that challenge? I don't get bothered by people trying to do ad hominem attacks on me because it's kind of weird thinking that it will bother me because they don't understand how I think and how I am. And I find it kind of hilarious because whenever someone does an ad hominem attack, you realize they can't really win the argument. They have to use personal insults to win. And it just shows how either unintelligent they are or how petty they are and they don't understand how to actually mess with someone, actually mess with someone's head or gaslight them or whatever, try to fuck with them in a fun way. And it's hilarious how easy it is, but most people don't know how to do that. And they either that or they're trying to make you upset or rage bait you, which you're not going to do that with me. That's the problem. You're just not. It's too easy to ignore it because it's just text on the screen. You don't see me getting bothered by someone saying some slur on the internet, racial or sexual or whatever, or a personal attack. No. I just shrug it off and just laugh at it and laugh at them because they could do better. I even say to them, it's like, you can do better, right? There's ways you can be creative to insult people. Now, of course, I wish YouTube would let you say whatever you want in the comment section. I personally have no problem people saying like slurs or anything like that. I think it's dumb by saying hate speech. It's wrong. No, well, if you're in that stage, you should be able to say whatever you want. It's a First Amendment right. You're not threatening anybody. You're just being mean to someone on the internet with text on the screen. If you had to start over today, what would you do differently and why? Maybe I think not put shorts on my YouTube channel because they say that it's weird because the way the YouTube people who try to explain how the algorithm works, even they don't know. Because sometimes they sell courses, i.e. scams, or trying to sell you view bots, which that could be a scam or not. I mean, that's technically the third party way to boost your algorithm numbers. But I say that maybe I shouldn't put shorts on my videos because it made it where my main videos don't get views. But my shorts could get thousands of views. I have one that's like 40 or 50,000 views, and it's just a slop video. It's quite interesting to see how YouTube's algorithm, it's separate. I say the algorithm's separate from shorts and long form content, but they do affect each other. Which at this point, I mean, everyone said is like, why don't YouTube just move shorts to its own platform instead of connecting to normal YouTube? Normal YouTube just is better, and shorts is ruining the platform. And I would agree with this. But YouTube won't listen to its creators because they don't care, because they see themselves as a monopoly, and they know they can do whatever the fuck they want because they're YouTube. They're a quote-unquote private company, even though they are monopoly. What is one piece of advice you would give to anyone who's considering starting a channel? A time machine, because new YouTube sucks ass. And I think most people would agree. New YouTube is not good. If it was for the monetary incentive, I guarantee everybody would be leaving ship of this shitty platform. But there's no other alternative that's even great. You have BitChute, you have Rumble, you have Odyssey, and they are all shit. One is run by a crypto scamming Indian group. The other one's run by a conservative group that's basically view-botting their entire site. That's Rumble, and the other one's Odyssey. And BitChute is in England, and it's just nothing but far-right crazy people that, I like to hear different perspectives, and I don't care if people say the gamer word, the N word, I don't care. But at the same time, it's nothing but that to where it gets obnoxious. But, most people think, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I hope you're happy to see me make this. I doubt you're going to watch it and just want to see me do this kind of shit just to squirm on the internet with your chat GPT. By the way, all those comments, this dude was so lazy. He used chat GPT for the questions. Yes, all that was all ChatGPT because you could see the M dash, all those M dashes. Like, people are just lazy. What the fuck happened to just say what you want to talk about? You could have said, talk about how you feel. Talk about your feelings, man. But I don't know what to say about it. The internet's fucked. See, I have a different perspective than the guy you interviewed compared to me. I don't do this weird stuff all the time. And I see people being too positive in a way that's kind of, you can say toxic positivity and not addressing, and I mean, not by addressing anything, but like addressing the issues with YouTube, but, just seeing the absurdity of today's internet. And the sad part is you can't really express yourself because you have to be positive all the time or talk about some inane shit that all the other people within the Call of Duty group talk about, like either men's issues, which that's a good thing to talk about. The problem is, it's all the same. It's not like interesting. It's just the same shit you hear all the time on the internet, to where you can almost feel like they're just copying each other. Say, you say this, you say that. There's a reason why I'm thinking it's a pyramid scheme where the top people view other people. And you see, I'm a schizo and I put tinfoil on my hat and I rub honey on me. You know what? You could think that. Don't think too hard. You make it weird about it. But this is interesting how the internet's fucked and you have to make videos like this just to get anywhere. That shouldn't be a thing. You should be able to speak what you want to talk about. And if you make the topic right and you make the thumbnail correct, you should get views no matter what. But YouTube has changed. And it's not the same. It's slop. It's all AI. Everything's fake. Hell, when I found these people, I legitimately thought that these people were AI. I thought, this gotta be AI. This is AI. But no, I just realized they're just talking like AI. They're trying to talk like NPCs. But that's all I have with this video. See ya.
YOLO!